The city never sleeps, and neither do the dreamers who build its pulse. From every corner of the globe they come. Visionaries, creators, leaders, each carrying a spark ready to ignite the world. This is not an event, it's a revolution of rhythm and reason. A symphony of minds, a movement of momentum. Sifu Rafael, Lancelot, Jose Escobar. Together they set the stage for brilliance. This is the NYC Experience. Mastermind, light up the city. They coming from the east, coming from the west. Knowledge on deck, put the truth to the test. Leaders in motion, hearts in sync, dropping wisdom so deep it'll make you think. They bring stories, sweat and flame, different faces, one shared name. Elevation, that's the sound. NYC Experience Mastermind, where purpose is found.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Tuesday morning it is. How you doing, Jose?
All is well here. It's cold, brisk, icy, and not quite sunny yet, but everything else is great.
Excellent. What about you, Sifu? How you doing today?
Exceptional, getting better every day. You know, I had my cold shower this morning. Even the other day when it was 3 degrees out, I had a nice cold shower, man.
Really?
I gotta tell you, nothing stops the locomotion.
That's right.
I'm excited for today, guys. I gotta tell you, today we're talking about rooms that decide futures. So we're not just talking about it. We're gonna do something. We're opening the door. Today, every 10 minutes during the show, we're giving away some tickets, general admission tickets.
Nice.
For the New York City Experience Tampa edition. So not because everyone should be in the room, but because the right people need to be in the room with us, right? So think about that. What do you guys think?
I like that idea. I like that. I'm excited, man. How are we gonna get? We're gonna raffle them off. What we're gonna do?
Well, yeah. Here's the thing, right? Anybody who's chiming in with us, here's the easy way. You're going to type in hashtag Tampa. And we already have 4 entries.
Oh, nice.
I did this at 6:30 and we already have 4 entries for it. So the best way for people to do it, I'm going to remove that for now. And I'm going to share with you how easy it is, right? Mm-hmm. So if you're on Facebook, you need to go to streamyard.com/Facebook so that you give access, right, to your information. And then once you put hashtag Tampa, you'll be put into the drawing, right? Anybody who has trouble, just DM me, DM Jose, DM you, and we can add you into it, right? So we're going to give them away.
Nice.
So
nice.
Why do you think we're giving them away? Because we're generous? Well, yeah, because we're givers, right? Why else do you think we're giving them away? Because just what the topic says, rooms decide future. And we want to help you exchange your time to improve your future. Who's in? I know I'm in.
I'm in. Let's go.
What are your thoughts, Jose?
I think it gives those that are on the fence or those that haven't experienced it to get an opportunity to experience what it's like to be in those kind of rooms. And what better way than to win a raffled off ticket, man. I would be excited if I was them to get that opportunity, man. So let's go. Good morning, Robert.
Robert,
yeah, I can chime in on this and just say very simply put that careers are built on stages, businesses are built in the right rooms. And we are positioning people to win here. We're positioning people to have the opportunity to get around other winners, to have that energy rub off on them,
Yes.
to learn some things, to build some relationships, to take their business, their careers, their futures to a whole nother level. And that's what we're doing here. And that's part of the deal. So, and this is the first time we've ever done this, right? We're
Yeah.
doing it for the first time, folks. So this is quite the opportunity. If you're not, position yourself to win by putting hashtag Tampa and saying, "Hey, let me try to get there with a free general admission ticket." I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. So there is.
A lot of people say well, you can't say you believe in that rooms matter and never step into one. You need to step into the room. So rooms don't just change strategy, they change your identity, because people start to recognize you when they see you in more places. They really they see how you move, and I think that's an important aspect also. Good morning, David. Dave.
David Hurley, good morning, sir. Over in Ireland.
That's right. So rooms decide futures. What happens if you don't get into a room? Could you still have a great future? Absolutely. But I think if you surround yourself by the right people, they enhance your future. So
Absolutely.
you rise to the standards you're surrounded by.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely rise to the standards you're surrounded by.
And they say proximity is power. And just getting around that type of vibrational energy, it really rubs off on you. And it's a certain frequency when you get around the same type of people who think the same, visionaries, collaborators, people who are in the same space, thinking the same way. It's a vibrational energy that you have that can't help to rub off on you. And unless you experience it, you're not going to really understand what we're talking about. But when you get in those rooms and you actually experience it, it's very intoxicating. And you want to get back into those rooms. That's why you find a lot of people who go to these things continue to go, because they get addicted to that energy and being around other positive people who are thinking the same way. But you got to get into that room in order to experience it. So, hey, here's an opportunity right now. We're giving away tickets. So that's a no-brainer. So I'd get on it if I was you guys.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead, Jose.
After you. You said it first.
And I love what you're saying. You got to get into the rooms, because before your income changes, your conversations must change. Sometimes it's the connections that you make in those rooms that will elevate your opportunities. But if you don't get into a room, you won't know of the opportunities. So thank you for that, Jose. Go for it.
No, I was just going to chime in that it's about collapsing time. I mean, that's really what we're trying to do, because you can still achieve a certain level of success and still build a very large organization and impact tons of lives and change your life and do all the things. And that's fine. But again, it's going to take you a certain amount of time to do all these things on your own accord. Right. And when I say on your own accord, I'm talking about the things that most people are doing: trial and error, right? Google searches, in this case, AI searches these days. Yeah. Right. YouTube University. People are going on YouTube and trying to learn things, through YouTube, and essentially trying to figure it out alone. Right. Which, works. And for a while I did that before I had a business, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think those are the extra bonuses of things you should be doing, the icing on the cake, right? You should be doing the trial and error and learning from your own mistakes, but ideally learning from other people's mistakes is called mentorship and coaches. And of course, Google searches and leveraging AI and YouTube and all those things are great and fine, and nothing wrong with that per se. But of course, that's not necessarily going to build you the relationships that you need to build. Right? That's not going to lead to the opportunities that are going to present themselves because of somebody you met. It might not shift the perspective the way it would in person. Right? So there's something special about getting to the right rooms when it comes to shortcuts when it comes to relationships, when it comes to the wisdom that you're absorbing, right? You're collapsing time by learning from all these people that have gone before you, and you're shaking the hands and saying, hey, you know what, based on what you said there, and this is kind of where I'm at, and maybe we should work on this together. Maybe, I know somebody who would be a good potential client for you. Let me do an introduction, serving first. And then some of these people are going to say, hey, you know what, reciprocity, let me see how I can best support you, and things of that nature. So, but again, those types of things always come from the next level of what everybody's doing, and that is investing in yourself. And learning on your own accord is fine. And I'm telling people it works, but it's going to cost you two things that nobody has to waste: time and money. If you're just going to spend a lot of time and money doing it on your own that way, when you can strategically invest accordingly and put your time in a place that's going to yield 10x results.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I mean, you talked about the YouTube University, and I love that because I love YouTube, because sometimes if I need to learn something quick, I can go to YouTube. Listen, I fixed my own dryer because I was like, my dryer broke, and it was the weekend. I didn't have time. I said, let me go to YouTube, and man, it was just an easy fix. But because YouTube taught me. Now, if it was something even more educational, and I had the opportunity not only to go to YouTube and learn from that particular person, but they say, hey, join me on Saturday at this time or that time. I'm going to be doing a workshop. Man, I want to be there because they showed me what I was able to learn. And now they're going to teach me further. I'm in. So a lot of people are stuck, right? It's just because they're not supported. They're not supported. And if somebody's there to support you, like what we're doing, right? So we're supporting people, but in such a high level that we are not only going to be introducing you to other individuals who are on the path up, but we're going to make sure that you are connected with the right people, because the three of us know how to connect other people to other people. Because if somebody says to Jose, hey, do you know somebody in this field? Jose's like, hang on a minute. Let me look at my Rolodex. I got this guy for you. And I've seen it 1,000 times where somebody says, I'm looking for this. And Jose chimes in, try these people. And that's what we're going to be giving you guys. So get in the room with us. Who's ready to give out some tickets? I am ready. I know.
Let's go.
Let's do it. So I'm going to share this. We have some people. I got to move over to the other one, and I got to hit it so it goes live. You ready? And now I'm going to draw it. Hang on. Things are moving on my end. Ready? Here we go. Wait a minute. They're all me. What? How is that possible? I'm the winner. I'm the winner. No. That's not good, people. We need other winners.
Yes.
Did you see that I'm the winner? Why? Why is that possible? Because you guys did not do the thing. The thing is, you got to put in Tampa and you got to put hashtag. So that was a demonstration. Now it's up to you guys to come and join us. So good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Leo. Good morning. Good to see you. And everybody else who's joining us this morning.
Good morning to you.
Make sure you guys are putting it in the hashtag Tampa so we can put you in. And again, free tickets, free or freer than free. Okay, so free is free. Take advantage of the opportunity. This is an opportunity. Again, 100% of the shots you don't take don't go in, right?
Right.
100% of the shots you don't go in. Now, in order for you to win a game, you got to be in the game. So get yourself in the game and put hashtag Tampa so we can see who wins. Now, I will leave you on this note before I turn it over to somebody else. And this note is the following. You don't rise to your goals. You fall to your environment.
Mm.
right? So my question to you is, what does your environment look like? Where you are today, right now, are you in an environment that makes you think bigger,
Mhm.
that pushes you and nudges you to act
Leo.
differently? Are
Mhm.
you in an environment that elevates your thoughts
Mhm.
and increases your actions, where accountability is a real thing, right? You don't rise to your goals, you fall to your environment. So it's important to understand this, because that's going to be the difference maker. Remember, big rooms expand small thinking.
Mhm.
So how are you thinking? Are you thinking like the book, The Magic of Thinking Big, right? How are you thinking? So in order for you to have that new version of you, you have to be in new environments.
Mhm.
You get into the new environments, what happens naturally? You start to think differently, talk differently, believe differently, behave differently, even dress differently. I mean, I try to step my game up every time I see Lancelot, for crying out loud. You know? But that only happens when I'm in the room. So again, and it goes back to the thing that we've heard so many times, borderline cliche, I guess, but it's so true. It's okay. Most people ask themselves, "Can I afford to be in this room?" What is the natural default that you should really be asking yourself? Is, can I afford to stay out of this room?
Not to be in it.
Can I afford to not show up and involve myself? Can my business survive and thrive without me getting around the right environment and the right people and the right circumstances to position myself to win? And that's really what it comes down to, folks. Too many people, you know what happens in their business? They treat it like a hobby. They treat it like a water boy, or like a backup player, or like somebody on the sidelines watching the game, right? And a lot of us treat our own businesses like fans. We're a fan of our business, but we're not actually in the game. So ask yourself, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want to see 2026 growth in your business? If that is the case, at the very least, put hashtag Tampa, at the very least. But my goal and my battle cry to you guys is invest in yourselves. Time, energy, financial resources to put yourself in the right environment so you can succeed.
Let's
Yeah.
give another one away. You guys ready?
Good morning, Angeline. I saw Angeline out there, and I can't pronounce the other young lady's name, so I don't want to
Here
say
we go. Here we go. Here we go. Uh, 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 Winner, Leon. You're joining us in Tampa. Look at that.
it. Yay!
Woo! Congratulations. Congratulations. That is awesome. Look at that.
And,
Nice. Very cool.
you know, I want
So
people.
Leon, before you go on, just text me or text 516-242-8732 and just say winner, and then I'll send you the information, okay? So once again, if you did win like Leon did, text 516-242-8732 and put winner in the comments, and then I'll send you the information. Congratulations. Go ahead, Lancelot.
I wanted to say, you know, in 2026, one of the things I'm saying is, one, listen to that inner voice inside of you. That we all have it, that godly voice that's telling us there's more for us out there. Two, say yes to opportunity. And then three, you got to get yourself in the proper environment. Those are the most important things, I think, in 2026. You got to listen to the inner voice, say yes, and then get in the proper environments, because the environments, proximity is power, as I said earlier. And you have to create your own environments. Get out there, get into communities like this, online, in Tampa, surrounding yourself around like-minded people, because that will help. Proximity is power. Again, it will help you grow, but you have to get into the proper environments. And what better way than to be in Tampa? All right. And so get in this free raffle. And I think 2026 is here for you to grow. And it's all about the proper environments.
I can quickly say here, first of all, congratulations, Leon, for your ticket. Can't wait to see you in Tampa. Lancelot, powerful points that you're making. 100% agree with everything you're saying. I'm going to make a point that is very near and dear to my story. That's very, very cool. Anybody who knows me knows this to be fact. This is not a theory. This is not something that I'm saying that could work. I'm telling you it worked for me. It is factual. It is true. Okay. I am not a professor in a college university that has never built a business telling you how to run a business. Okay. So I am telling you something that I have actually done, that was part of my story that can help you if you just apply it. All right. It's very, very simple. And the concept is that where you are right now is fine. Some of you are massively winning and doing already really well. Some of you are doing okay and prefer to be in a better position and are like, I need to do more. And then some of you are desperate for clients. And some of you are like, man, I'm struggling over here. And I'm like 2-3 months away from closing doors. And I'm not sure what the heck I'm going to do. Right. So everybody's on a different journey. But what I can tell you is your next big break, the next tier of where you want to be, is simply sitting in a room that you haven't entered yet. Okay, I'm going to say that one more time. The next big break, the next big thing that you're looking for in your business is sitting in a room that you haven't entered yet. It is simply that simple. And why do I say that from experience? Well, first of all, I can tell you, I've been saying this from the very beginning. I have had countless talks on stages, in person and virtual, in many of the books I've co-authored, even in my own book. I have said time and time again, and if anybody has heard me before, I'm sure you've heard this, that I built a massive business 100% organically. When I say organically, I mean I had no marketing budget, no website, no SEO, no paid ads, no funnels, no automation tech, CRM or AI, no podcast, no YouTube channel, and 0 emails went out. It was 100% organic word of mouth growth. Now, people are like, oh my gosh, Jose, that sounds amazing in theory, but how in the heck do you do this organically? Like, I am so struggling to do something organically, which is why I'm doing paid ads, why I'm doing this, why I'm doing that, why I have all these funnels and automations. And that's still not working the way I want it to work, right? But so why? And I'm going to tell you right now, part of my secret sauce is I have been in so many physical rooms, I have lost count. I have gone to so many events, you name it, Les Brown, Tony Robbins, John Maxwell, Grant Cardone, all the events, people in CLA, people outside of CLA. I've gone to so many events, stages, clients, collaboration, influence. All of this comes from getting in the rooms. Guys, you don't need more marketing. You don't need higher level tools. You don't need all of this expensive budget to grow your business. You just need to get into more rooms. Okay, you need to get into more rooms, because when you get into more rooms, that's where the needle moves. And I know from experience, which is why I love going to rooms, and which is why I got into the space of creating rooms, because I'm like, I might as well create stages and I might as well create rooms, because I know that's the missing link for so many people. And when they do get in the rooms, it can change if you understand why you're there and you understand how to leverage the opportunity to be in the rooms, which is a whole nother conversation. Showing up to the right rooms and keeping your mouth shut in the corner is not going to serve you, right? So there is also the next phase of going to the right rooms, and what do you do when you're in the right rooms? But that is a big element, folks. If you are struggling right now, I'm telling you, you're not getting into enough rooms. It is just that simple, because that's where the needle moves. That's where relationships happen. That's where collaborations happen. That's where referrals happen. That's where people say, oh my gosh, I've been looking for your service. Tell me more. And they end up falling in your lap as clients, and they put you on their podcasts, and one event leads to another event, that leads to another event, it leads to another event. And this is called momentum. When you have momentum, you ride the wave. When you ride the wave, wow, it is the bell curve all the way to high level success. But you have to do the thing.
I just received this book yesterday. I'm going to be putting out a picture. And one of the things that not only is a signed copy by the author, right? He also said, thank you for bringing me onto your stages and allowing me to go on more stages with you. So, and this is Matthew Dickerson, right? When we create these rooms that we're creating, you, Jose, you, Lancelot, and myself, we're bringing people who are real people, physical products that they create, virtual products that they create. Some of them create their own stages, and the three of us have gone to events together. One of the things that I just want to share with everybody is that networking introduces you and helps refine you to other people, but the masterminds truly bring it all together. And we don't just do networking at our events, we create a mastermind so you can learn to collaborate, so you can bring ideas forward. So the masterminds that we create are really powerful. It's very interesting. One of my clients who was at one of our masterminds said, "Oh my God, I had so much information gathered at the mastermind that you guys had in Farmingdale in New York." He goes, "I took so many notes and it was so valuable to me." He goes, "This was gold." And this is, I didn't ask him to tell me that. He just came out and told me that on his own. So think about this, right? The rooms don't just change your strategy. They can help change your identity. How do you identify yourself after you've made a deal with somebody? More successful, more opportunities. So we're sharing with you that we can give you more opportunities, but you have to be in the room. Let's see if anybody else has taken charge to. Let's go and run another one. You guys ready? Let's take a look. There's two left. I'm wondering if they're both mine, but let's take a look anyway. Here we go. Oh, it looks like one of them is mine. Who's the winner? Who's the winner? Oh, coaching call. That also happens to be mine. But hey, guess what? You guys, you want to win like Leon did? You need to put in hashtag in this live, and we're going to do it again. So we still have time. We have another easy 30 minutes that we're going to do it a couple of times. So if you're joining us now, understand this. It's pretty simple. And I'm going to put it here so you can actually read it also along with us. Put Tampa in the live, whether you're on Facebook, Twitch, I think even LinkedIn, right? You can do it on the platforms. And if for some reason, if it's not coming up, you can text 516-242-8732, hashtag Tampa, and we'll put you in it, okay? And we'll do a physical drawing instead of a virtual one. And then we'll do that. For us, it's about getting, look, Leon already texted me. Look at that. That's beautiful. So Leon, yeah, I'm gonna reach out to you a little later today and send you all the correct information. Make sure that you join us. Listen, the tickets we're giving away, they're not free. They're not free. People have already paid money for them. We're taking it out of our own pocket, bring you into the room. When was the last time you got something for a little bit of effort? Something of tremendous value.
Value. That's the key. It's the value.
The value. It's a value proposition, right? Because you have to think about it two ways. Your time is the most valuable commodity you have.
Absolutely.
But if you don't use your time correctly, you're wasting it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So think about the environment that we're in. It can train you. It can even help you with your behavior. It's a motivation factor, right? So before your income changes, anything that you do, remember, it's the conversations that you have in a room, having a conversation with Lancelot, having a conversation with Jose, with myself, some of the other speakers who are going to be there. Those simple conversations of, hey, and we don't want to ever start with, what do you do? What do you do for work? Right? Because that's a conversation. No, but I usually, when people ask me that question, I don't answer it, because they didn't even get to know who I am. Jose, do you answer that question right away? So the first thing they get out of their mouth, they go, hey, I'm John. What do you do?
So better yet, let's ask the question: what's some of the good things to start a conversation off when you're trying to connect with somebody? I think that's more important, because a lot of people don't know. You know,
How about what's exciting in your life right now?
mm-hmm.
One thing that I usually say that's slightly different, and there's all kinds of things you can say, and there's no right or wrong. It's just best practice of getting the best results of a conversation, right? It's like the same old thing. You say, "Hey, how are you?" Like, you know, people say that to each other all the time. "Hey, how are you?" "Hey, how are you?" It's like a filler verbiage, right? "Hey, how are you?" Because we all know most people don't really care how the other person's doing anyway. And then number two is the people respond a lot. If you pay attention, a lot of times people respond to you with, "How are you?" You're like, "Hey, how are you?" And they're like, "How are you?" Like, they didn't even answer the question. They just replied naturally with the same thing that they normally say anyway, because nobody's paying attention. That's just filler information, because nobody really cares about that answer. And if they do care, they just keep it moving on. Somebody could say, "I'm absolutely miserable." They'll be like, "Yeah, so tomorrow, let me tell you something."
Right. That's a good
They don't really care how you feel. They're just saying that because it's just, whatever. Anyway, that's not the point. My point is, you got to find ways to create more effective communication between person A and person B, because effective communication is what's going to lead to results in some capacity that creates win-win, right? What creates reciprocity. The more intel you have on somebody that's unique and different and special, especially on a personal, hey, let's get to know each other foundationally level outside of just business, then you have a relationship versus hey, tell me what you do, so then I can start getting intel to see if you're a good potential client for me, or whatever the case is. So it really comes down to a simple thing. I say this all the time, like, so Stephanie, what brings you to this event this weekend? I'm curious, and that just opens up a can of worm of dialogue. Oh, well, as a matter of fact, I actually live in Texas, and I met Sifu through so and so, and I've seen that you guys do this event, and I've been seeing it online, and one thing led to another. And what happens by default, if you ask a different question, naturally they're going to say what they do anyway.
Yeah. One of the things, and even Lancelot and I, it's funny because we ask each other the question. We did it when we were driving. What do you want to get out of this weekend?
Mm-hmm.
What are you looking to get out of the event? Or even during the event, what has been one of the highlights that you've experienced?
Mm-hmm.
Because now it's a conversation, right? And then what are you going to do with the information you gathered? What do people usually do after they go to an event? Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. They do nothing. So why would you show up if you're going to do nothing?
They put all their notes like this somewhere, and then they don't get it ever again. They just have a stack of notes.
Jose, you know what I did? I used to have books like that. Then I got the Remarkable 2. And the beauty of it is that, because I still have tons of books everywhere, but the beauty of it is, let's go. I got to do it again. Is that now I can put it all in different folders and all this crazy stuff. So it's really, this was a game changer for me, because I take these to events, right? And then I can write down what the event is, and I create a folder for it. And if there's 20 speakers or 5 speakers or 3 speakers or 1 speaker, I put their name, I put the date, and I write down anything that's pertinent to what I'm listening to, right? And this way I can always go back to that event and say, wow, this is something I gathered, this is something I learned, or this is something I need to follow up with. Whether it's maybe they said something and I said, I need to learn about that. Maybe I got to go do a deep dive on that subject, or on that particular educational piece, right? Or maybe they brought up a good book. So sometimes when Jose brings up a good book, I'm like writing things down. Um, so, and we're talking about books, right? Well, I'm talking about books, but one of my clients was reading this book, and I think, Jose, I don't know, you may not have it, but I think this is going to be a good book, right? The Pursuit of God. And I was like, and then she starts telling me about it. I'm like, oh man, I got to get that book. So I went on Amazon, I picked it up, and then I also picked up this one at the same time, which is it's his master's voice, right? And it's even translated. It's not in the, this is translated because obviously I don't speak that language. But so for me, it's having a conversation, taking down the notes, but doing something with them. Because I know a lot of people take notes, and like Jose said, and they just stack up, and all of a sudden they become what? Garbage.
Shelf help.
There you go.
Jose, what's the saying? You always say information without implementation is what?
Head knowledge.
Head knowledge. Okay. I thought it was procrastination. All right. Information without implementation is head knowledge. Right.
Yeah, it doesn't move the needle. I mean, it's just nice to know things, and that's cool, right? You might do well on Jeopardy, but that's about it.
Right. Right.
So yeah, execution is the key when it comes to that. And by the way, Sifu, you made some amazing points, and we could spend a whole day on just the points that you just made just now. And I love those two books. Share them with me if you would. As you know, I'm an avid reader. As a matter of fact, I am tuning into this since we're talking about spiritual book, Unshakable. Unshakable, building a life of virtue in a world of chaos. So
Wow.
you know, I mean, I'm intrigued by that. I haven't gotten into it yet, but that's my next plan. So
Here's another one I read already, but this one's really good.
oh, I have
Turning
that.
Pro.
I read it.
Or Turning Pro.
Yeah.
It's really good. Stephen Pressfield. And
Yeah. Very cool.
so many great books out there. Now, let me tell you one thing. If any of these people were doing an event and I just read their book, wouldn't I want to be there? Wouldn't I want to talk to them? Oh my goodness. This is why I love one of the shows that I do is called Author's Tales. I get to talk to the actual authors. And guess who was on my show? Jose. He was one of the authors I interviewed. I know Lancelot needs to come on that show, Author's Tales, so we can talk about his book, right? Because looking at books here, right? These are two authors that you can actually talk to at our event. Who's that? Well, here's Jose and here's Lancelot. Could you read their book or even get a copy of their book, have them sign it for you, and then ask them questions? Now that really becomes an interesting conversation, if you will.
Yeah. I love that show, by the way, and I'm honored to be a part of that. And I love that you love books because I do too, as you can tell behind me.
Oh yeah.
I can tell you, going back to this topic of rooms decide futures, right? I'll mention just 4 names, all right? And I'll start with the first one that comes to my mind is Patrick Rood. Patrick Rood is my money guy, right? He handles all my financials and stuff like that. He's been doing that for a while, taxes, accounting, all that stuff. And anybody who knows Patrick Rood, he's a great guy. Check him out, Rood Financial Services, right? So anyhow, he's in Jersey, and I met him at an event. He was never in my radar. Saw him, and I at an event and built a relationship that we enjoyed pro wrestling, WWE. We started talking about, different historical wrestlers, and that led to a little foundational relationship because we're just business heavy. We started talking about personal stuff, and we got to know each other. We kept in touch. And relationships must be nurtured for it to become a relationship. Otherwise, it's just a contact, right? So I'm a relationships guy, a relationships builder, a long-term relationships guy. That's my goal, right? That's why I got married. Otherwise, I wouldn't be a long-term relationship guy, right? So, so that's the one example. Another example, there's a guy called Ed Reed. Ed Reed, also in a CLA, great guy, was a mentor of mine for quite some time. Still consider my mentor to this day. Phenomenal. And I never met this guy from Adam. And I walk into an event with Les Brown here in Rockville, Maryland. I heard Les Brown was coming to Maryland. I'm like, oh, where in Maryland? Oh, Rockville. That's like 15 minutes from me. I'm like, I'd be an idiot not to go, right? I never met Les Brown before. So you know me, I always get VIP with anything that I do because I understand that the proximity matters, right? So I said, I'm going to go VIP and I'm going to buy the ticket that's going to get me to meet him. So I bought the VIP package, and the VIP package allows you to hang out privately with Les Brown for a small group of people in the back to just hang out, Q&A, get to meet him, meet and greet, all that kind of stuff. Literally hanging out, not like a line of where you get a picture and then you're done. No, like actually hanging out in a private back room. So I said, I'm in for that for sure. So I already know the people in the VIP room are fakers like me. So guess what? Me and Ed Reed, I was working the room. I showed up early. I started shaking all these hands in the room, in the main lobby room, before the VIPs were taken to a private room. And I was observing Ed Reed. He was like full 3-piece suit, tie, looked professional, good presence, big guy. I'm 6'1", he's like 6'4", and he's much bigger than me. So he was like shaking hands and looked all professional. He was laughing. You could hear his laugh from across the room. That guy, right? So I go and because he had around him. Because influence, right? He has this influence about him, right? And he didn't even know those people. They just started gathering around him because he had that kind of authority already. So so I just started talking. I just, squeezed my way in there. Well, Ed, yeah, but over you in my conversation over there. So I had to
we're losing you a little bit, Jose. We're losing the sound on you.
Can you hear me? Testing. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can.
Testing. Okay. So I ended up just dropping a joke with him, and we started having a conversation. And that one conversation led to, okay, guys, VIPs only. Let's go to the back. We're going to go meet Les Brown VIPs. And all the FOMO people are hanging out like, oh, they get to go in the back with Les Brown. So I'm like, all right, Ed, I got to go. It was a pleasure meeting you. And he's like, what you talking about, son? I'm VIP too. And I said, oh, okay, come on. So we went together and we got to hang out with Les Brown. He signed some books. We got some pictures and we hung out with Les Brown. It was fun. A bunch of Q&A. And it was like an intimate, like 19, 20 of us around him like this, just hanging out for about an hour before the event. And then I sat next to Ed Reed. We started walking and talking. And then sure enough, we sat next to each other in the front row with Les Brown. And then from that day, he's been a great friend of mine, mentor, and he's now in the CLA heavily involved. I've been supporting him in some ways too. And it's just been a phenomenal journey. And I can go on and on and on. I met Sifu Rafael in Las Vegas at an event in person. I met Lancelot at A to B Con with Brandon Godoris at an event in person, right? That is the difference. In person, you can translate emotion, trust, energy, depth. I mean, all these things. Remember, folks, handshakes create what hashtags never can and never will. Handshakes. And that is in person. Nothing wrong with online, nothing wrong with virtual. It is a tool. We should leverage it. But in person is where you want to be.
Yeah. I think we have one more shot at this. Let's take a look. You ready? Yep. Let's do another drawing. Here we go. It should not be Sifu Rafael. Oh, look at that. I win again. So we need more people to come on and jump in because now I'm out of it and we have Angeline. Angeline, you got to get a friend in there to jump in so you guys now can compete against each other.
Put hashtag Tampa, folks. Hashtag Tampa in the comments if you want to be in the drawing for a free ticket, general admission ticket to our Tampa, New York City Mastermind Experience. These are paid tickets. People have paid for it. These are general admission. It gives you access to the whole weekend of a bunch of people speaking, networking, relationships, learning, growing, collaborations, you name it, experience. You don't want to miss it. It's free, folks. FREE, capital letters, exclamation mark, bold, underline. It's free. So
I'm gonna say it's not free.
Yeah.
It's not free because we're gonna ask you to give us something that's so valuable, which is your time, right? But if you do win a ticket, we don't want you to just show up. We want you to participate. That's the cost of admission for us. This is why we're doing it for free, but it's not really free. Because when we give out a ticket, we're preventing someone else from sitting in that seat. So if you come, we don't want you to just sit and be a seat warmer. We want you to be a doer. We want you to meet and greet people so that you are participant in the event.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I'd rather have nobody in that seat. Right? It makes a difference when we can actually come in. So we'd like to have another drawing, with Angeline and somebody else. So think about this, right? When was the last time a room made you uncomfortable? In a good way. In a good way. So when your conversation are expanding your future, and because we are talking about rooms decide your future, are you protecting your comfort? Because you can protect your comfort at home. You stay home, you're going to be comfortable. You could sit on the couch, you could watch a movie, you could watch a show, you can get snacks, you could do whatever. But it does take effort. It does take getting out of your comfort zone to define your future. I never met a person who didn't get out of their comfort zone and create something worthwhile. Have you guys?
No, there's no growth in the comfort zone.
Can you say that again, please?
There's no growth in the comfort zone. So you don't get
no growth
out.
in the comfort zone,
Right.
without a doubt. Yep.
That's right.
Zero growth. So while I change the battery on my my mouse over here, you guys talk to us about why somebody refuses to go to events. Why do you think that happens to people?
One, fear. Fear is one of them. The fear of the unknown. The fear of not knowing what to do or how to do it. That's why I asked you the question of what do you say when you get in those type of rooms, and those were great answers. What brings you here? To be able to initiate the initial connection. But I think fear has a lot to do with everything, and fear really is false evidence that appears real. So it's like you create this fear about a situation that doesn't even exist, that's made up in your mind. And a lot of times, if you could just walk through that fake fear and make the move and just get in the room, you'll find that it is everything you thought it was going to be, as opposed to everything you feared it was going to be. You know what I mean? But I think a lot of it, or most of it, is about fear of the unknown.
I would piggyback off of that. Great point. Fear is a real thing. It unfortunately freezes up a lot of people for a lot of things that should happen. Of course, there's money, but money to me, my philosophy on that, from again personal experience, is that is just a means to an end, and that, frankly, is a tool and a resource that can be found. You can find it very, very simply. If somebody doesn't have money for something, I can tell you right now, if you're resourceful, you'll figure it out. And that's just, and some people won't like that answer, but that's just a reality. That's just a reality, and that's okay. And we can't make everybody happy. I can just tell you, frankly, from my own experience and from people I've coached and from what I've seen from others and my mentors and coaches, it's not about the resources. It's about your ability to be resourceful. If you find something to be valuable, and if I told you, hey, listen, guys, there is a Lamborghini 50 miles away from your home with $1 million in cash in it. If you can get there within the next 2 hours, then it's all yours. And you have no gas in your car at home. You have no money to hitch a ride, and your cell phone battery is about to die. You have limited time to find somebody to give you a ride. Like, let's just say that the cards were stacked against you in terms of your ability to get. I believe somebody would find a way. The right person will find a way to get it done, and the wrong person, no matter what you say, no matter what you do, just won't find a way to get it done, because we tend to wire away. And we have a belief system in our mind. And the belief system is what allows us to become resourceful or not. It's never about there's no money to go somewhere. It's I just haven't really figured out how to get there. Now, that doesn't apply to every single event, because now you're going to an event every single week. You should be going to an event at least once per quarter. At least once every 3 months, you should be at a physical in-person event, at least minimum. Right. So I think two things besides the money piece and the resourcefulness are, number one, people think to themselves, oh, it's a bunch of information that I already know. Or I've been in the rooms, I already know enough. I already know what I need to know. Like, just going to learn some more is not really going to move the needle for me any more than it already has. Right. So, and right now I'm kind of not where I want to be, because most people aren't. And I don't know if that's going to be worth my while. But the backdrop to that is I don't know how to leverage that room to get ROI for me. I am unsure, and I don't believe that if I go to this event, I'm actually going to get a return on my investment. So it's I already know a lot of things, and I don't need to go learn more. And then it's and if I do go, I'm not sure I can get a return on my investment. I'm not sure how to do that, because historically I've gone to events and never get my money back. So those are two things, and those two things can easily be addressed by just learning the strategies and techniques on how to convert.
I had somebody, and I might have mentioned it to you. I'm not naming names, but somebody said to me, oh, is so-and-so going to be there? I'm not going. Oh my God, you allow other people to determine your outcome. And my response was, hey, they're not the only person going there. You can socialize with everybody else. You can even avoid them. But in their head, they don't want to be near that person. But there was other people that would have benefited from being around. But because they were small thinkers, they said that. So think about protecting the conversations that you do have with the people that you are in front of. And it's not about stealing their time, or like I like saying, kidnapping them. But it's being so attentive to what they're saying that they're going to want to stick around with you for a little bit, instead of looking to go somewhere else because you're boring, because you don't ask the right questions. So one of the things that we have to understand, that when you're in front of someone else, you have to ask questions that make someone want to be with you, because it shows you care. So the question that I have here is, are your conversations expanding your future? Or are they just protecting your comfort? Because sometimes you don't even ask questions that somebody may be having to think to respond. Also think about the environment, right? So if your environment stays the same, and like Jose said, every 3 months you should be going to an event. For me, it's more than that. I'd like to go to an event at least every other weekend, right? So if you don't expand your environment, if you don't get into rooms, and it doesn't have to be our room, any room, right? Go on Google and say what's happening this weekend, and just go. Where do you end up if you just stay home all the time? Where do you end up?
Home, doing nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. So go ahead.
No, I was going to chime in and say, yeah, if nothing changes, nothing changes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just that simple, right? Change requires change. Better results requires different action. And that's really what it comes down to. So when it comes to, again, this whole topic, which I love the topic of getting to the right rooms, 5 years from now, yes, the books you read, where you spend your money and your time, and people that you hang around, they're going to determine where you're going to be in 5 years. But I take that one step further, and I will say where your business now on the particular rooms that you entered. What rooms did you go to? Did you participate in? Because the rooms lead to relationships, and the relationships lead to opportunities. Opportunities lead to business growth, and business growth leads to financial independence, and financial independence leads to the life that you want to live on your terms.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what we're all after. We're not after the money. We're after the means to an end. At the end of the day, the money is only there to get you the things that you desire. Travel, time, money to spend with, invest in charities and nonprofits, help out family, legacy for your children. I mean, you name it. This is all the things that come with money. But so again, getting to the right rooms leads to these things. It leads to these things, but it starts with positioning yourself to win. That leads to relationships, and the relationships, and so on and so forth. It's a domino effect. That's what it comes down to.
And I like that, Lancelot. You quote a lot of great people that we both know, and iron sharpens iron. And one of the things is, if you're in the right rooms, and there's people who challenge you to think outside of your normal thinking, and it's not because you need to be liked; it's because you need to be challenged. For me, listen, I was at the gym this morning, right? I was at the gym before 5 o'clock this morning. And I didn't go to the gym to remain the same. I went to the gym to be challenged.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I went to the gym. Because if it's the same boring workout, oh my goodness. So not for me. So right now I can't do push-ups, right? Because I just had shoulder surgery, but I'm getting stronger, right? I can actually move my arm. It's kind of good. I can't do push-ups, but I got to tell you, I am itching to even do one. Itching just to do one push-up. It would be so cool. So I'm starting to do certain exercises against the wall, like arms up and all this kind of stuff. But I said, okay, so I can't do push-ups. All right, let me just do, because normally I was doing 500 to 700 push-ups every day. So I want to get back to that. So I said to myself, okay, I'm at the gym. I can't do push-ups. I can't do any pushing or anything like that. Let me work on my legs. So I'm working on my calves, my quads, my hamstrings. And now I said, oh, let me keep working on my abs. So this morning I did 1,000 different 1,000 exercises for my abs. So I did 200 leg raises, crunches, this, that, the other. But until I got to 1,000. And so therefore I was challenging myself. And then I know tomorrow, guess what I'm going to do again? Minimum 1,000, probably more, because I don't like to remain the same. This is why when people, and we talked about this earlier, when somebody says, how you doing? I don't want to give them the same response everybody else does. I challenge people to think. And Lancelot has started thinking a little bit different because of the way I answer. And I usually say exceptional and getting better every day.
Every day.
Right? So what does that tell you, Lancelot, when I say that?
That tells you that you're working on yourself and getting better every single day. You know, I always say 1% better, but I love that response, and I've adapted that response. How you doing? I'm exceptional, getting better every single day. I love that response because it's about it's what I stand for, just in terms of constantly, every day, trying to get better in the gym, intellectually, emotionally, everything. It's about building yourself up first so that you can then be able to help others be the best they can be. But until you can be the best that you can be, then how are you really helping others? So that's how I think. And I love that response.
So true. And I'm going to give my final thought because I got to run it, but I got to say something very important. And that is, a mentor of mine once said to me, and you're going to hear me say that a lot because I always position myself to have a coach and or mentors, right? A mentor of mine once told me, Jose, you cannot push a wet noodle. And I said, ooh, what does that mean? Are you saying I'm a wet noodle? He's like, well, if the shoe fits. At the end of the day, if you push somebody to do something that they're not willing to do, and in their mind, they don't have the capacity to do, which they do, but in their mind, because they're self-defeating thoughts, right? If you're trying to push somebody who is not ready mentally, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, all the things. I didn't say financially because that's just a matter of resourcefulness. If you push somebody that's not ready to be pushed, that's like trying to push a wet noodle. If a noodle's wet and you push it, it just kind of like does this.
Yeah.
And you can't push it because it just kind of shrivels up, right? It has to be a fresh, solid noodle, and then you can push it, right? So that's what we're trying to do here is we are talking to the people that want to be spoken to. That's who we're talking to. We're talking to the people who want to be spoken to. If you want the next level in your business, in your career, in your life, if you are ready to challenge yourself, you're ready to position yourself to win and get in the game and put on the gear and be a starter in the Super Bowl that just happened. If you are ready to be that MVP in your life and in your business, we are talking to you. If what I just said doesn't resonate with you, don't worry about it. We're not talking to you, and that's okay. And you can hang out and be with us, and we love your company, and that's awesome. And everybody will be prepared in their own time. But we're not here to motivate and inspire you to do something that you're not ready for. We're talking to the people that are ready. And I tell you right now, I wake up ready every single day because I understand that if I'm not ready, the opportunities are just going to go right by me every single time. And I will be complaining a year from now, why am I not where I want to be? 5 years from now, why am I struggling? Why? And it all goes back to me. The life you desire, the business you're after is at the end of your own arm. It is literally just a few action steps away from designing what you choose that you desire, but you have to put in the energy. And I challenge people to know, yes, time is the highest commodity. People say it all the time, and Sifu said it earlier today, and I agree to some extent, but there's something even higher than that, and that's energy. Energy is your highest commodity. You know why? Because you can have all the time in the day, but if you don't have the energy to show up for it, can I say something? You're out of luck.
You're,
So you gotta protect your energy, folks. And your energy, how do you protect it? Besides eating right and working out and taking care of your health, how do you track that? How do you take it to another level? You get around the room where energy is reverberating in such a powerful way, and you're getting around the dreamers, you're getting around the visionaries, you're getting around the global titans, the impact players. That is keep your dream alive. How do you keep your dream alive? Get around dreamers. So folks, we want to see you in Tampa, Florida. If we're talking to you and you feel it in your heart and you know we're talking to you, trust me, if you know, you know. We want to see you in Tampa, Florida. Make it happen. We can't wait to see you there.
Yes, yes. Amen.
I got to say that we didn't give away enough tickets today. And, you know, as we're givers, the three of us, I think we're going to have to do this again next week. So if you did not get a chance to win a ticket and you don't want to buy a ticket because maybe finances or whatever, we are going to give you another opportunity next week. So next week, when you're in the show with us, type in #Tampa. You guys okay if we do it again next week?
Absolutely.
Awesome. All right, everybody. God bless. Have a beautiful rest of your day.
Yes.
Make it count. Make today count because
Great.
you matter.
Great conversation, gentlemen. Great conversation. Have a wonderful rest of your week. God bless.
God bless everybody.
Yeah, man.
Super excited. It was such an amazing experience speaking, and I'm so energized and excited.
Everyone brought the energy, the motivation, and the tools to actually implement to accelerate as a business owner.
I'm really happy to hear at the New York Experience. We just had some of the speakers come up and they were fantastic.
Awesome experience. The quality of people and the quality of the speakers were truly inspirational.
Let me just tell you, the impact in the room, the energy in the room was unbelievable. If you miss this event, there's another event coming up in Tampa. You don't want to miss that event.
It's a revolution of rhythm and reason, a symphony of minds, a movement of momentum. Sifu Rafael, Lancelot, Jose Escobar. Together they set the stage for brilliance.
Sifu Rafael with the New York City Mastermind Experience. I am here with Lancelot and Jose. We're taking it to Tampa.
Real excited to bring our New York City experience to another state. Tampa, watch out, because here we come.
Get your tickets today, folks. We want to see you in Tampa, Florida. Again, NYC Experience in Florida. Get there. Get your tickets now. We'll see you there.
Elevation, that's the sound. NYC